Okay, let's get this show on the road. Imagine a world full of magic, monsters, and, of course, beauties. Imagine that, but first, we're going to see the world through the eyes of a high schooler. Our hero is Hiragi Seiichi. The first impression of him is the worst. Ugly, with a foul odor and an obese body. As a result, he is bullied at school, but because he is very kind inside, he helps those around him. To avoid being bullied, he isolates himself by alienating those around him, such as his childhood friends. Faced with the most unusual twist of fate, he was chosen, along with his classmates, to relocate to another world, that they would become heroes. However, unlike the others, Seiichi is not popular among his peers, and this leaves him without a date at the time of transportation. But the being who calls himself God said that he would make him a gift, but what the secret was he did not explain. The gift was the skill complete dismantling. But wait. Plot twist. The kid gets a golden ticket, Willy Wonka style, to a new world. But it's not a chocolate factory. It's more like if Jurassic Park meets Magic School Bus. They say he's going to be a hero. Hero? The kid who gets into trouble on a regular basis? Sure. Except all the cool kids pair up. And Seiichi is like the guy who didn't realize there was a dress code to follow at the party. Bam! He ends up in the forest of certain death or something. And what is that gift? Remember? The power of total dismantling. That's an odd name, but that's exactly what it is. So our boy, hungry enough to bite the south end off a northern skunk, starts devouring everything. And then the fruit of evolution drops as his score. He eats it, and it doesn't taste very good. But there's no choice. There's no fast food in this forest, no Michelin-starred restaurant nearby. While he's looking for food, he sees a group of clever monkeys, and they're picking the very fruit that he's looking for. Seiichi decides to steal them and eat them, but one monkey finds him. Seiichi realizes he's finished, because it's a real monster and our hero is only level 1. Seiichi thinks he's finished, and then he releases his scent, and the monkey is knocked out. Then the skill kicks in, and all the clothes go to Seiichi. And useful new skills like instant movement? After the fight, the fruits of evolution started working. He didn't know about their properties. And then, friends, it's makeover time. And it's not just a makeover, it's an explosion. He lost 50 pounds in one go. He's in shock. He's beautiful, especially since his performance has increased dramatically. He decided to try them out on a new monster, a huge magical wolf. But the wolf didn't stand a chance. Our guy's not so easy anymore. With one blow, he destroys the monster and takes all the loot. He can slaughter his enemies faster than a hunter in Vegas. Every monster he knocks out gets the loot and their mixtape of magic and skills. And a more detailed description of the skill is like this. Mandatory adds all loot items when defeating an enemy. In addition to being able to get it, you also get the magic and skills your opponent had. Friends, now let's talk about the real MV of this fantasy world. And no, it's not a wizard or a knight in shining armor. It's a female gorilla. Yes, you heard right, a gorilla. And not just any gorilla. We're talking about LeBron James gorilla, Kaiser Kong. It's very big, it's strong, but it's also cute. All covered in red fur and with huge clicks. This gorilla doesn't just swing from trees, she has skills. She can read. Yeah, because nothing says survival of the fittest like a gorilla that can appreciate Shakespeare, right? In the jungle, she works magic like it's a new recipe from Gordon Ramsay. So Seiichi, our hero, stumbles upon this gorilla and she decides he's enemy number one. But wait, Seiichi dodges her attacks like he's in the Matrix. The battle gets interesting. Saria says she is starting to fall in love. She loves strong men. What happens next? She smells his scent, and bam, it's true love. Who would have thought that smelling Seiichi's scent would be enough to make love in the jungle? He says he must become her husband. She hugs him tightly and takes him to her lair. And this gorilla, let me tell you, has her own agenda. She looks after our hero, cooks for him, and protects him from monsters. She wants to go in search of new fruits. She picks these fruits of evolution like diamonds on The Bachelor. She says, I'm gonna feed them to my future gorilla husband and punish whoever stole them. But guess who stole them? Yeah, our boy Seiichi. He confesses to the theft. And when she finds out, she forgives him faster than you can say banana split. After all, they were meant for him anyway, since he's her true husband. But it turns out there was a catch. If you eat 11 of them, you die. So lucky, said our hero. He ate 10 of them. And now it's for real. She's eaten so much of this evolutionary fruit that she's about to become taller than she is, like playing Donkey Kong in God mode. And as she goes on a hunting trip, Seiichi really wants to get off. Since the love of a human and a gorilla is impossible, he starts to run into the cave, but Saria notices and wants to stop him. He goes into the dark hall, and there sits the skeleton, the Dark Lord of the dungeon. He attacks Seiichi, and the blow is fatal. But he's saved by our sweet and furry gorilla. She's just in time to cover him from that blow, and says goodbye to Seiichi as she realizes she won't survive. Our hero becomes enraged. He admits he's fallen in love with her too. And now he wants revenge. He defeats a monster much stronger than he is. And the Lord realizes that through the power of love, he remembers that he loved her too. And he resurrects Saria. She turns into a red-haired human bombshell. I'm talking Disney princess transformation with a dash of Emma fighter. But here's the catch. She can go back to gorilla mode when she wants to. It's like having a Swiss Army knife that can turn into a monster truck. And she doesn't mind sharing Seiichi's love. She's like, girl, I know he's okay, but we have to spread that charm around. So we have a hero smelling like a fresh summer evening. A gorilla reading Jane Austen and scattering magic like fairy dust. And all tangled up in a love story that not even Hollywood could come up with. After all, where else can you get action, romance, and beauty tips? Only in this crazy world, friends. So, the next time you see a gorilla at the zoo, just remember that somewhere out there, in another dimension, there's a gorilla reading Shakespeare, baking cookies and ready to rush right in like Tarzan to your defense. Remember that evolution isn't just about growing thumbs. It's about finding love in the most unexpected places. After defeating the Dark Wizard, our hero gets cool clothes and a beautiful dress for Saria. They decide to leave the forest and go to the nearest town to get adventurers' papers. And for that, they need to join a guild. On the way, they fight a monster and Seiichi is surprised by their strength. When they reach the town, they are met by a good-natured guard. He wanted to check their documents, but our heroes said they lost them and wanted to join the guild to get new ones. Then the guard offered them to touch the sphere, which will show if they had a dark past. The test was successful. Our couple is as clean as a white sheet, and so they come to the guild. Well, it's a very strange guild. There are indecent acts going on in the guild building, and there are strange people in it. Seiichi is frightened by this, especially by Saria, and wants to leave. But then he is stopped by Gussel Clute. He is the guild master of the Telbert Adventurers Guild. Likes to wear boomerang pants. He has a big voice and body. He's a real psychologist, and he's also a masochist and doesn't try to hide it. His trademark is his muscular posture. Gassel is a well-built, muscular man with tanned skin and green hair, usually wearing boomerang pants. When Seiichi decides to join the guild, he discovers a strange girl there. This is Ellis Macron. She works as a secretary for the Telbert Adventurers Guild. She was an S-class adventurer in the past. She's a very pretty woman. She has blonde hair tied in 2 pigtails and blue eyes. She usually wears the clothes of a secretary while doing guild-related work. And when she shows her sadistic tendencies, she wears a black whip and mask, dressed in a tight jumpsuit. Later, more guild members arrive. They want to congratulate the newcomer. But Seiichi easily slips away from them, and everyone immediately realizes that he's cool. But since they're new, they need a mentor. Since our couple is new, they've been matched with a good mentor. And that's Ultria Graham, guild mentor. She doesn't really want to be a mentor, but she's been told she can do it. And she's taking it. What's the problem? She has a little problem, a curse, if you will. She's called Poor Ultria because she's been sowing misfortune since childhood. So, naturally, she's used to working alone. Now, with a mentor, the newcomers can be given tasks. The simplest ones, and basically, the guild can't assign them to anyone else. But they're good for beginners. The first assignment is to spend time with the children, which Saria happily agrees to. Saria is as ready for this as a child to eat candy. The second assignment is to destroy a building. This is where the worst happens. Our strongman Seiichi, barely touching the building, immediately destroys it, and the house falls down. Ultria's jaw drops to the floor. She starts to blame herself for what happened. She thinks, well, that's it. He's done for. But it's not that simple. He gets out from under the rubble, and he doesn't have a scratch on him. Seiichi just shakes it off like dandruff. Much to Ultria Graham's delight, the third task was to walk the dog, but instead of a small dog appeared a huge wolf. But Ultria was no longer worried about Seiichi and just watched this task. After completing the tasks, our couple gets an award. But that's not all. They have completed the tasks, but this is just a warm-up. They need to practice their skills. Ultria takes them to the forest and gives them the task of gathering herbs. Saria did it quickly, but Seiichi finds only rare herbs and can't find simple ones. He runs into the thick of the forest to find the herbs he needs. But there is a surprise waiting for him. A group of demons have set a trap, but Seiichi doesn't know who they are. He asks them if they know where the healing herbs grow. Since the demons are discovered, they want to destroy the traveler. To fight back, They summon a huge troll. The troll immediately strikes. The demons rejoice, thinking that the man is finished. And what was their disappointment when they saw that the hero is not only alive, he didn't even realize he was under attack. He easily destroys the troll's mace and repeats his question. But the demons are just panicked. They immediately start fleeing for their lives. And the troll along with them. Seiichi doesn't understand and goes back. But then disaster strikes. Altria Graham falls into a demon's trap. This trap sends her to a dungeon where a black dragon lives, the most powerful creature in the demon army. A battle ensues in which Altria Graham clearly does not win. Saria and Seiichi go to rescue their mentor. They make it just in time. Seiichi starts a fight with a black dragon. The dragon tells him that he hates humans because they are cruel and evil. But Seiichi explains to him that this is not true. There are good and kind people. The fight is hard at first, but eventually Seiichi wins using a super movie. The dragon realizes its power and quietly leaves. Altria Graham is saved. Yeah! Seiichi gets emotional and gives her a magic ring. For her protection. But the girl had other worries. She thought Seiichi was proposing to her. It was a complicated story. But in the end, Saria decided everything. Saria said that she understood Altria Graham's feelings. Since Seiichi is a strong male, he seduces females. And she is willing to accept Altria Graham into her group, and is okay with her feelings for Seiichi. Now our hero has a wife and a girlfriend. That's so cool. Everyone probably wishes they had a wife who would let her husband have a girlfriend. Lucky our guy. Every hero needs a means of transportation. It must be cool and stand out from the rest. Not everyone can fly like Superman, or run very fast like Flash. Our hero wants to move fast, and he's hoping to buy a cool horse. So cool that it should be better than Batman's Batmobile and cooler than Ghost Rider's motorcycle. But fate has given him a gift. Only it's not a horse. It's a donkey named Lulun. So let's talk about Lulun. This is no ordinary donkey. She has a green ribbon tying her tail, and in human form she turns into a top model with a trim body, green eyes, and light brown hair gathered in a ponytail. Not a bad transformation, right? Now that's a super bonus. But Lulun wasn't always the sweet girl you see now. No, she used to be a real bore, pompous and rude, until Seiichi came along and put her in her place. Now all she does is eat. Seriously, that girl thinks with her stomach. Throw a treat in front of her, and she immediately rushes into action. But how did all this happen? Seiichi goes in search of a horse for adventure. Stumbling into a monster store, he meets Lulun, who doesn't like weak people, especially guys. She was raised to only serve those she considers strong and worthy. So, naturally, she tries to strike Seiichi down. But our guy isn't one of the fluffy ones. He picks her up like a feather and shows her who's boss. After some struggle, she gives up and recognizes Seiichi as her master. From this point on, it's all about good food. Seiichi starts feeding her human food, and let me tell you, she takes to it like a fish to water. This donkey has a taste for the finer things in life. Together, they go to participate in the Royal Cup. Seiichi wants to inspire one girl with this act. Things don't go well at first. But then our donkey shows who's the toughest animal. Slaying monsters with ease, they win the cup. and Seiichi gets the grand prize. And now for the best part. Lulun also has feelings for Seiichi, but she keeps those feelings under wraps. She sees Seiichi as her master and isn't about to rock the boat for Altria Grem and Soraya. They are a solid team and she doesn't want to cause trouble. Seiichi also has a thing for this girl, and it's pretty obvious that he has feelings for her. They even go on a date. So, what is their favorite thing to do? Going out to sea and getting wasted, of course. Seiichi enjoys watching her eat, and they make a pretty good couple. Who knew a donkey could be so charming? Especially when she turns into a beautiful girl. But remember about the prize that Seiichi won the Royal Cup. As a prize, he got to spend the day with the Valkyries, the most beautiful and strongest girls in the kingdom. First, the beautiful Valkyries came to pick him up for the meeting. Altria Grem immediately became jealous and didn't want to let him go. But she had to because the Valkyries are the king's servants. And she is a law-abiding one. When he arrived at the castle where all the Valkyries were, he was given a sword and challenged Louise, the most powerful Valkyrie. He fought her reluctantly as he didn't think. He would have to fight her as a reward for winning. But he defeated her, and everyone was shocked to see an ordinary adventurer defeat the most powerful knight. And with such a sweep. After the battle, Louise, who had always felt lonely since no one could compare to her, tasted defeat and asked Seiichi to be her teacher for the first time. And he agreed after learning of her loneliness. Since then, she trained under his guidance and became a transcendental, which was the highest level anyone could reach. But Louise wasn't satisfied with just that. And becoming one wasn't a big deal to her after seeing Seiichi's power. Training under his guidance, she eventually favored Seiichi over everyone else, even the king, and also decided that if it was Seiichi, he could do anything, and began to care deeply for him, and even told him every time she became stronger than everyone else. And when she defeated a high-level monster, she began to want praise from him like a pat on the head. She developed feelings for him, but she didn't consider it love. She thought that since Seiichi was her teacher, that meant she cared for him so much. But Rons knew that no student loved their teacher that much. He understood that Louise had feelings for him, but he didn't realize it and considered the relationship between master and student. Let's not forget about our superhero Hiragi Seiichi's first girlfriend and friend. Her name is Kenazuki Karen. She was Seiichi's classmate and helped him in his time of need. When they got into trouble, she was very worried about him, but believed that he would pull through and they would meet someday. Kenazuki Karen is one of the prettiest girls in school. Waist-length purple hair, violet eyes, and a gorgeous, luscious, built figure. She usually wears a school uniform. When they entered the new world, she started training hard to get stronger and wanted to save as many people as possible. But she also really wanted to see Seiichi. She became a very strong fighter. Her favorite weapon is a sword. We also have an interesting character. Auriga Carmelia is a small but mighty assassin, the kind of girl you don't want to meet in a dark alley. She first met Seiichi when she was fleeing from Rand's castle. She attacked King Rand's and struck him with a cursed weapon. She was amazed when Seiichi not only recognized her attack, but overpowered her and caught her. She was an assassin and had been training since she was a child, and until now, no one had been able to catch her. Only our hero Seiichi. That's how good he is. They take her into custody to find out who she is and why she attacked the king. But nothing worked. She kept quiet and said nothing. But during the interrogation, when Seiichi gives her food and shows her kindness, we learn her story. She's from a cursed group of beastmen because she was always treated like a tool, abandoned by her parents and used to kill so many people as a slave. And she recognizes that she didn't do it willingly. She is a slave and cannot disobey. She's wearing a magical collar that gives her master complete power over her. Seiichi shows her kindness, frees her from the slave necklace, treats her like a child. The first time someone loves and strokes her and she starts to cry, Seiichi told her to be with him, for he had always treasured her as a little sister. After that, she became Seiichi's foster sister, and they both love and care for each other very much like siblings. Seiichi always spoils her and helps her. She was forgiven for her attack, as she was not in control of herself. And Seiichi was able to save the king with his super powerful spell that he invented himself. Not only is he handsome and a favorite of the girls, he's also a powerful magician. So, if you don't fall in love with him, he can cast a spell on you. Are we forgetting anyone? Oh yes, there's a beautiful blonde with green eyes. Who has a thing for our heroes? She's always ready to help them with advice and a kind word. Especially she helped in the love story of Altria Grem and Hiragi Seiichi, to understand their feelings for each other. This gorgeous blonde will still show herself. If you know her name, post it in the comments. Peace and tranquility reigns, and there are only hotties around. But not everything is so rosy in our kingdom. An evil demon has decided to disturb the peace of the kingdom. To do this, he has sent a huge crowd of monsters from our worst nightmares. The horror. It's like a corporation of monsters, only they not only scare you, but also want to eat you. What do you think? Our heroes are not cowards. The first to fight the monsters rushes our beauty, Valkyrie Louise Balze. Oh yes, she's beautiful in normal life, but in battle, she's simply superb. Her blade gracefully destroys monsters. Boom! Also joining the fray is our strange guild. Gussel Clute slays monsters in one fell swoop. Ellis McGreen, wearing her favorite outfit, shows how you can easily destroy a pack of demons with a whip. Saria utilizes her animal strength and uses her gorilla fist and starts smashing monsters. Altria Grem turns on crazy berserk mode, picks up an axe, and shows what a meat grinder is. Lulun bravely goes into hand-to-hand combat. Origa's sister Carmelia puts her assassin skills to good use and slays demons. Now, that's an exciting battle. What about Seiichi? You'd think he'd just stand there and watch. But no, he's activating super magic and turns a whole crowd of demons to dust. He's shocked himself. And so they combined forces to defeat the Dark Army, and the kingdom gave them a gift. They offered them the opportunity to study and develop their skills at their magical university. But our team refuses. They're in for a journey, and we need to rest. Take a hot bath and relax. Think about how beautiful the world could be if everyone respected and understood each other. Thank you, my favorite friends, for always listening to my retellings to the end. I'm very grateful for your support. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, And if you already have, all the better.